So it's time for my late, out-of-date Girl Meets World Season 3 review. Best season ever? Please. What's going on, YouTube? So I just realized the other day that I haven't made a review for Season 3 of Girl Meets World yet. And I remembered that I made a review for Season 2, so I figured, why not do one for Season 3? Especially now that we're going through this really long drought of no Girl Meets World or no Girl Meets World news, because right now it's been like really dry with the news. I mean, I'm not purposely not making Girl Meets World videos for you guys, it's just that there's really nothing to talk about right now unless I go back and talk about things that I've already talked about like a million times, and quite frankly, I'm getting a little bit tired of that. And I have a feeling most of you guys are too. So unless I have something new to talk about, something new to bring to the table, I just don't really feel the need to, you know, rehash old things. Now that being said, this is something new because, well, I haven't reviewed the season yet. So I figured I'd give you guys another Girl Meets World video, especially considering my last couple of videos have been Riverdale related, and tomorrow's video is probably also going to be Riverdale related. So I figured I'd sneak a Girl Meets World video in there somewhere, and I think today is probably the best day to do so. So I mean, where do we start with Season 3? Well, I have to be honest with you guys, and you may remember this, but I was pretty much bored with Girl Meets World from the very start of Season 3. And I really feel like the only thing that Season 3 really had going for itself was the love triangle. I mean, that was really the main reason by far that everybody was even remotely still excited about the show and was still watching every single week, waiting to see what was going to happen next. But once they killed the whole love triangle storyline, the season was pretty much over. And to me, once that storyline ended, the show really proved to me just how much that they relied on that storyline. Because once that was over, the show really just took a nosedive really fast. The episodes themselves were just not interesting enough without the love triangle storyline to really keep a lot of us interested and motivated to really want to keep watching every episode and to really be as into it as we once were. And this is why I always laugh when people try to say the show isn't about the ship, Smurf. Yeah, well, you know what? When the show tries not to be about the ships, the show sucks. And I blame a lot of that to the fact that it's on Disney, but still, I mean, I realize you guys were very restricted on what you could and couldn't do, but I still believe you guys could have done better than that. I mean, come on, let's just be honest. Season 3 was a very big letdown. And I know for a fact you guys could have done better than that because you already did with Season 1 and Season 2. Season 2 in particular because it was by far your best season, even without the triangle. But I mean, I just don't really feel like Season 3 brought much more to the table. It didn't do anything better than Season 1 or Season 2. And I'm not even the biggest fan of Season 1, to be honest with you, but compared to Season 3, it was a masterpiece. I mean, I guess you could say maybe the best parts of Season 3 was probably, I mean, I guess you can say that some of the ships and some of the relationships between the characters, I guess some of them got closer, like Ryarko, for example. Ryarko really grew in Season 3. Smarkle really grew in Season 3. I can't really say Rukus grew in Season 3. I mean, if anything, Rukus grew apart despite being together. Now, I already covered that in previous videos. And also, Lukaya grew further apart. Whether you want to believe that's because they were ignoring their feelings or because Maya turned into Riley and then found out she didn't like Lucas or something, whatever. Whatever reason you want to give, Lukaya wasn't as close in Season 3 as they were in Season 2. Nor did they have as many great moments. And like I said, you can say the same thing for Rukus despite them being together. So I guess a couple of ships took a step forward, while some others took some steps back, while the overall story took several steps back. if you even want to call season 3 a story. And that's another problem that I had with season 3. I just feel like there was never really a real story. There was no real progression with the storylines. Other than the triangle, I just feel like every episode was like its own thing and nothing really connected together very well. I mean, there were a few episodes in season 3 that I did enjoy, but I don't know if I could name one true gem in the entire season. One that I may want to go back and rewatch over and over and over again. And on the flip side of that, I could name plenty of horrible episodes in the season. Just to name a few, I mean, Girl Meets Ski Lodge Part 2, Girl Meets Hollyworld, Girl Meets World of Terror 3. That one wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, if I'm being honest, but it still wasn't that good. Girl Meets Jexica, didn't like that one either, and just a whole bunch of other really subpar episodes. I feel like most of the quote-unquote good episodes of the season, pretty much all of those were no higher than like maybe a 7 out of 10, with the exception of like maybe 1 or 2. But overall, I just really didn't enjoy season 3 very much. Yes, Ski Lodge had a whole lot to do with that, but even Ski Lodge aside, it just wasn't a very good season. And it would really be a bummer if Girl Meets World went down on this sour of a note, which is why you guys need to hit those links in the description box to make sure that that doesn't happen. And if I had to give season 3 a rating out of 10, I would give it a 5.5 out of 10. So now let's talk about my first impressions on KC Undercover. Yes, I finally got around to watching this show. And I have to be honest, when I first started watching it, I didn't think I was gonna make it past 5 minutes. Because the show started off like really fast, but not in a good way. I mean, right away, I was just smacked in the face by the cheesiness and the goofiness of the show. I mean, they wasted no time. And the obvious fake pumped in crowd laughter, that was really annoying and just really added to the overall cheesiness of the show. It really made the show feel cheap to me. And I also really didn't like how they tried so hard to say something funny literally every 2 seconds, making it pretty much impossible to take this show seriously. So those are some of the things that I didn't like. So now let's talk about some of the things that I did enjoy. Although a lot of the humor was cheesy, a lot of it was also very funny. Okay, not very funny, but pretty funny. And I really also like the son in this show, or the main character's brother. He's clearly going to be treated like the comedy relief character of the show, and also the character that gets neglected the most. But I really did like the comedic relief that his character did bring to the show. And I also really like the main actress in this show, which so far may be one of the only characters and actresses that I like in the show. No other character besides maybe the brother really stuck out to me at all. And I think the actor that plays the dad, I think his acting is a little bit subpar, along with some other people on the show. But even though the show started off like really bad for me, by the time it ended, I have to admit it was pretty decent. Not great and probably not even good, but decent. And like I said, I did appreciate some aspects of it. And if I do, big if, but if I do continue to watch it, I could see it being one of those shows that, you know, I watch it when it's on and get a few laughs, but I highly doubt that this show is gonna turn into like, you know, one of my favorites. And it's not really one of those shows that you can really take too seriously. But to be fair, you can tell that the show itself is not trying to take it seriously. So I mean, you know, it is what it is. Will I continue to keep watching it? We'll see. Will I make reviews on it? Very doubtful. But let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. But I'm done talking. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do. But as always, Until next time.